I'm saying last year, I'm saying that you were flooding Kessie Power Volta region. Blekuso. Keta, any Blekuso, your co-worker. Ama, some more budget crown, appropriation crown. You are to us say, man, your provision for, sir, you know, and now they say about approval, mobile budget. Entino, Omuji to Musa 10 million Ghana cedis. Report on the NHS, government not releasing 10 million Ghana cedis. So we have feasibility studies. And we are even going to require for warrant. The budget warrant, Omudi 2 years as at the mark consultant. Because what me my parliament now, my chair parliament, then you go away like that. And we know, say, Blekuso, BBBN and what is here. And now you go you can flood in the same beam. Now, your problem, as a committee oversight over that ministry, they say, I buy Sikana, you approve the sector ministry, no. And now there's a finance ministry releases Kandema Womo. Out of about 500 million, I approve your 2022 budget, you know. Your release your crown less than 20 million Ghana cedis. Less than 20 million Ghana cedis. So 20 million Ghana cedis, and not for only drains in Kwa. Other things I also hear. And we are asking ourselves, I said, no, it's your turn as you F amount for the door. When I see a blame, no, I will see a blame a bino. You blame the Minister of Finance. If you say, a woman say, one more IGF, a Minister of West and Housing, but IGF on the essay. Here, no need Nakabo, they are unable to even get even 1 billion, 100 million Ghana cedis. They are unable to get it. And on TBC, Nasa, and Yaman Koya. Me blame minister now or West Housing and say. No more Minister of Finance. Only an agency will release funding for him. And to ensure Ecoso, Ghana has say, especially our Accra. Yeah, Nipa be Japadia Essaya. Even life, a man from Conqueror Airshino. But the blame in at the Bema Abaya Ochekunya. So if you say, you create as only your piano man, it will a certain priority. It is all I just saw to Sika at the basic cathedral. Nasa unfan control flooding. Nasa amount for enqua, Yashra amount for enqua. I just say everything, I'll see a blame no, Edema Abaya or Chekunaso. And I believe, say, so Abaya way and I just saw by prioritize here. Because you see a year of roads. Year of roads, no, I'm quite about so my asphalt, will be brave. Now, asphalt, no, you're not the one, just storm drainer. Gutters now, I know. Need now bed echo go storm drain Cassibimu. Storm drain is on a Minister of West Housing and a consultant storm drains. It will yank it one and one Cassianoa. And so they won't even block you. Oh, block on a baby of a befa. It's at the end of it, you know, both are not finding its way into a monthful fee. That it causes a lot of distraction to lives and property. And you know, the Americans say, I'm only urging. Say, I'm buying on prioritizes our ministry, no. If you say, Niama, a say every year, no, what Kabomoa, on say, your Maya, your Kasakeke, your Kasavi, and say, Bako, I'm not for the Kasa, but if you're free, will be a Kwakotiatana. Next year, the same thing, Abasiaba. But I was here insisted that the right things are done, and we do it once and for all. Because as for Tobacco, as for Tinibro, and so our channel away, because they are building storm drains. We have lost a lot of money as a result of that. And you know, importance about the Ministry of Roads. They should give equal importance on former Ministry of West and Housing. Thank you very much. We are invited you this afternoon for one big reason, which has become perennial. You know, every year, the media, we go around and then we cover flooding situation in Accra and the whole country. And it looks as if it has become an annual ritual. We go, we cover, and every year it occurs. You know, yesterday and 3 days ago, we have had flooding the whole river. It is not only in Accra, Kumasi, and other places. And about 6 lives, we have lost about 6 lives, which to me, it shouldn't have occurred. If you look at our budget for 2022, we budgeted for the Minister of West and Housing was given about 500 million Ghana cedis in the budget. But at the end of it, the Minister of Finance was able to release less than 20% of the budgeted amount. So currently, if we are experiencing flooding, I know we cannot avoid flooding anywhere in the world. But the measure that we put in place to reduce the impact of flooding is what is the most significant thing. But this government has deliberately decided not to fund the Ministry of Works and Housing. Because how on earth can you release less than 20% of the budgeted figures to a ministry? And this amount is supposed to take care of all other things, not only the control of flooding. And yesterday something happened on the floor of the House when the minority chief whip, complained about the performance of the Oversight Committee, the Works and Housing Committee, as if we have a budget line that the committee can spend to stop flooding in Ghana. We don't have a budget line. All that we are saying is that it is the Minister of Finance that is supposed to release funding to the Ministry of Works and Housing. So if the Ministry of Works and Housing is not up to the task and they are not performing, and we are experiencing the flooding situation that we are experiencing now, then all the blame should be put on the Minister of Finance. And we are urging him. Minister of Finance, the Minister of Works and Housing doesn't generate anything. He doesn't have the funding unless it is released from the Minister of Finance. That is where I'm placing the blame on the Minister of Finance. So it's unfortunate what happened yesterday, especially 3 days ago at Amanfrom, English Amanfrom. We should have gone there as part of oversight responsibility to see what was going on there. But as usual, in Parliament, you apply and they will tell you, we don't have the money to give you. Usually we go out there with the media to cover some of these things. And we need a budget to do this. But as it is now, funding has become a problem. So we are only urging the government to live up to its responsibility, because when taxes are collected, it is the government that is in power that controls the budget and prioritizes where money should go. There has been a time that they said, oh, let's have 2020, 21, 22, still a year of roads. How do you prioritize roads without storm drains, prioritizing storm drains? Because all these drains and cover discharge into storm drains. And it is the responsibility of Ministry of Works and Housing to construct storm drains. So if you don't have storm drains, how can you prevent flooding in the country? So all that we are saying as a committee is that government should be up to the task. They should release funding so that at least it can give some comfort to residents in the flood-prone areas. I listened to a Deputy Director of Meteorological Service. The only solution that he could prefer was that those in the low-lying areas should move to live with relations in the uphill areas so that they can at least salvage some of their properties. It's very, very sad. But to me, that is the reality. Because apart from that, there can't be any solution to our problem. You have to move to save yourself. And I think this sad situation should not be allowed to continue. So let me commend the Speaker of Parliament. Yesterday he gave directives to the Minister for Finance and Minister of Works and Housing to report, to come to Parliament, at least to give us some confidence, a level of confidence that they are providing funding so that some of our choke drains and some of the projects that we have already started, and because of budgetary constraints, they are unable to continue, they can release funding for projects to continue. Thank you very much. And this is the little intervention that because flooding is not limited to only Accra. Last year we were at Blekuso. Blekuso, the problem is still, because the funding that they even promised that they were going to release to the minister, they have not done it. They said 10 million, they were going to give 10 million for feasibility studies. As I speak with you, nothing has happened over there. And flooding is still ongoing. And this year we are going to have a lot of rains. So how are we going to save ourselves? from these rains. Unless Parliament, we have to oversight, the media will also have to back the committee of Parliament, so that at least all that we are all looking for will be able to achieve that very much. I think so. If we are able to do this, it will not be a perennial. When we were there in 2015, I remember NDC government had a project called County Project. I was then a deputy minister, myself and my brother here. We co-chaired that committee because I was in Western Housing, he was in local government. And over $600 million have been earmarked for County. That was going to be a comprehensive program for Accra to solve this perennial flooding system. But MPP came, as usual, they will always find issues with whatever the previous government initiated and decided to truncate everything, and this is where we are. So we are asking the government, what has happened to the County Project? Can't we revive it so that at least it can be some level of comfort to residents of Accra? Thank you very much.